that thankfully for Gosport Gods, that
Well, depending on what's starting.
that went for the scaling rune instead of the raw offensive power from a Hail of Blades. So not as much
Hmm.
early game oriented, but still pretty pretty dangerous. Hogmaw still outranges the Kaisa.
Looks like we might see a
Summoner's Rift.
level 1 here as well. All 5 members of Gospel Gods grouping towards this bot side, but all of the Ruin Kings looking to as well, moving through the mid lane. We might be about to see a full-on level 1 5v5.
Yeah, ward placed outside of where they're hanging as
Walking
well.
forward, and Thunder's
Oh
are
boy.
down. Gospel Gods know about this. Captain Fast walks through. The Swain is going to grab on 3 of them, and the Spirit Fire is going to catch all 5. Feb is chunk low, and the Plasma is stacking up. God of War grabbing the first. Can Valstorm get out alive? 1-for-1 so far. God of War trades his life. It's a double kill for Luke Caruana as the Thunder does rain down. Yuri Undertone, Spirit Fire's on the ground. The hook from Captain
man.
Fast. Juki jamming finds one, but MDiv answering back, and it's 3 for 3. JJ Robinson flash goal. Card from hands, but what are you doing? You don't have nearly enough damage this early. It's the 3 for 3 early on. 2 kills on the Volley Bear, 1 on the set for Ruined Kings, and then kills spread across the mid, 80 carry, and support for Gosport Gods. Gosport Gods take 100 gold lead, though, as minions are going to crash into the lanes.
Yeah, this is...
And well, we wanted a change in style
Yeah.
from both of these teams. Level 1 aggression really gonna give it to us.
I think this is still pretty on brand for Ruin Kings to just, flip the game like that just from the very beginning. Luke Caruana does benefit from it, but Hands a little bit...
Beneficiary.
Yeah, Hands still under fire potentially after this play because he doesn't have his flash, still a little bit lower on health. So we'll see what happens after.
I want to draw attention, actually, following this play, I want to draw attention to the bot lane. Both Feb and Captain Fast keeping hold of their flashes in that level 1 fight when Duke of Jamming and God of War down all 4 summoners. So in a lane where Gospel Gods should realistically have pressure, if you look at just the straight-up champion matchup, not really going to be able to be possible due to the summoner spell disparity.
Yeah, even though the Kaisa has the longsword advantage, I think Gosport Gods will still be quite hesitant to go forward, knowing that, they could face jungle pressure, and also the Nautilus, the flashless Kaisa is a pretty easy target. So we'll see how this plays out.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, just pushing
But
this
the
in.
Swain is going to connect. Empire's going to come down. A little bit of a chunk on Captain Fast, but nothing more. Urianthon's
Big
taking a
trade.
big trade, though.
Oh,
Ethan Goldcard going to find Vilestorm, though, as the Sejuani passive is popped, and he is going to be burning away. Luke Caruana now finding the stun. Press the attack is popped. The Thunder calls down, and Luke Caruana finding his 3rd kill. Goldcard again onto JJ Robinson, though. The wildcard's going to come across. Not going to be able to find lethal damage, just going to poke him out. Urianthon's maybe falling. Flash away from the Haymaker, going to keep him safe. And yeah, we're just getting fight after fight and so much action in this early game.
yeah, we're witnessing the power of the early game that Ruin Kings drafted. The set getting such good trades consistently, and also the Volibear with the early game. Oh,
Urianthon, Haymaker!
boom plating. Did that
Barely.
save him?
Barely. Yeah, I think it did. Barely
Wow.
being able to walk out alive is going to be able to get a recall and teleport straight back into lane. So not going to hurt the Nasus all too much, as he should be able to get back to lane pretty quickly. Vilestorm, Arctic Assault over the wall. Your bore's not quite that big, my friend. You haven't going to be able to hit the knock-up, and Han's just going to be able to walk himself away.
And we can also see that, we can see why the TF kept getting banned, at least in the second half of the season. Like, the pick on its own, it can be unassuming. It's like, not a lot of damage, kind of potentially weak early game in some matchups, but in tandem with a jungler, all of a sudden, like a 2v1 situation becomes that much more dangerous for any kind of jungler.
Yeah.
And Luke Caruana just reaps
And
the
I think
benefits.
it is Tank Cogmore. Looking at that first recall from Feb, Longsword and the Null Magic Mantle, I think it might be Tankmore. I'm not sure, but it's looking likely. As we are going to see trades, that Void Ooze coming in clutch with the Bioarcane Barrage, just providing Cogmore so much effective safety and range. Luke Caruana looking here onto Yuri Undertones. They're actually going to go for a dive. The Facebreaker going to pull Yuri Undertones out, but Luke Caruana has the turret aggro. That's a shutdown into the pocket of Yuri Undertones with the double buffs. Teleport going to come through now from JJ Robinson as well, and they could look for MDib. Teleport completes. Can they find onto him? But no, it looks like he's just going to be able to walk himself to safety. The Siphon Power not going to be able to do much, if anything. And a very, very strange call for the teleport, but a very, very weird decision to make the dive work.
Like, you, like, I don't understand. You either need the minions were not there, or
Yeah.
if you want to be that aggressive, you need the Volibear to hit level 6 so you can ignore the tower. Ruin Kings had neither. And that play just completely botched. And Yuri Undertones also gets a shutdown, which you will definitely appreciate.
Yeah, I'm going to see that trade though. Destiny Gate going to be popped. Hands is looking for those double buffs. He wants to steal them back for his team. Gold card and the Ignite. Wild cards to finish the deal. And very nice usage of the Twisted Faith ultimate. Luke Caruana now looking towards the bot lane, but Grab going to connect from Gardevoir. No further action required. And they're just going to be able to walk themselves away.
Yeah, very good response, all things considered,
We are
from
seeing-
Vince.
We are seeing 1,000 gold lead, 1,000 gold being the lead already though here at the 7-minute mark.
Yeah, despite that failed gank attempt, Ruin Kings have still found more early game advantages across the board, and I think this trend is likely to continue until we hit at least like 10 more minutes on the game timer.
Yeah, I would probably agree that Nasus going to need a lot of time to come online, as well as a few of the other team fighting tools. This Cogmore, though, having quite a nice time in the laning phase, being able to farm up, just get that XP, get to those item breakpoints, and is definitely going to become a massive thorn in the side of Gosport Gods as this game goes on.
Yeah, the pressure is not a... There's not a lot of pressure. Oh, as I say that.
Well, Feb's gonna get caught out though. Demonic Ascension gonna come down. Teleport's being channeled by Ruin Kings. Well, Feb gonna burn down to the Ignite. Gardevoir gonna pick that one up. MDib now in the area. Flash onto Gardevoir. Facebreaker not gonna find him, and the Showstopper's not gonna come out either. Double kill for Gardevoir as the Showstopper does come down on Jukijami. Beautiful flash to dodge the Haymaker. Flash gold card from Hans. Cleanse not gonna get him away from the wild cards though. Gardevoir looking like he's gonna get hunted down here. Just gonna try and buy some time. Maybe try and find the execute to the turret, but no, it's going to be a shutdown over to MDib. The set teleporting in, finds one and an assist, and that is going to be very good news for MDib. Bot lane of Ruin Kings, probably not that happy, but overall, I think it is a net win.
The Gosport Gods were a very good initial play, obviously, but the teleport advantage was still there for Ruin Kings, and they get a lot of gold from that. So it's still a bit of a... Yeah, it's still a bit of a mixed play for Gosport Gods. They wanted to get a lot more from that.
Yeah, definitely. But getting the two kills, not terrible. Losing the 2 kills, obviously not ideal, especially with the shutdowns. But the Stormbringer going to come down onto Yuri Undertones. Luke Caruana really trying to push for this. Not the Dominus, the Nasus ultimate popped as well. Flash away from the Nasus. He's basically having to use his flash on cooldown at the moment. Really being put under pressure in that top lane. And that's showing in the farm. 20 CS the difference as we hit the 10-minute mark.
Oh,
Luke Caruana and Vilestorm just face checking into each other. The stun going to come down from the Permafrost of Sejuani. No. Glacial Prison going to be used. And Vilestorm just walks himself away. Hans and JJ Robinson trading onto each other. Vision of Empires and the Chaos Storm going to come down now as well. JJ Robinson really looking flash forward to keep the Chaos Storm moving, and he's going to find the shutdown on to Hans, but MDib and Luke Caruana both in the area. Not going to chase too far though, as Jukijami and God of War have both roamed up to keep their mid laner safe.
Yeah, decision making, a very conscious decision from JJ Robinson to catch hands on Rome when he was not looking, and that's a pretty easy kill from him, actually. So at least Gosport Gods are still fighting back, responding to some of his aggression that has been a trademark for Ruin Kings. Rift Herald.
It's going to be a Rift Herald, actually, in the mid lane. I didn't see the Rift Herald get picked up. Nice little pickup. Gold card, though, finding JJ Robinson. The Gravity Well, going to stun up hands, but Luke Caruana flashes forward with the big bear slap. No, we're not talking about Udyr this time. It is a volley bear, and he is going to find you, and it's the shutdown. But first turret for the gods, and the gold lead down to now 300 gold.
Yeah, it's a tit for tat once again, but Gosport Gods are slowly but surely crawling their way back in. Now we'll see if they actually feel powerful enough to challenge for the second dragon that's about to come up.
If Gosport Gods are to secure this Drake, though, it would be very big in terms of their on-map momentum and potentially looking for an early soul. Oh, Juka jamming and God of War catching out Luke Caruana, though. Big damage. Shielded up, but no God of War finding one. Feb is now in the fight, though, and he picks one up onto God of War. Glacial Prisoner goes and splits the uprights, and Feb... No, Vince finds one. 2 for 1 so far in the fight, but Vince going to go down to the victor, and it is currently a 2 for 2, but ended. He is here. Captain Fast, flash, hook, forward. The Bio-Arcane Barrage from Feb, and the Living Artillery to secure the kill. 3 for 2 for the Ruin Kings. Maybe not going to be the Dragon, though, as the jungler for Gosport Gods is still alive.
You saw the intent from Gosport Gods, but clearly they were not ready to actually face Ruin Kings when it comes to, like, when you consider the current state of the game, like, they don't really have the necessary items still. Kaisa will need a lot more time to actually be a threat inside of his game, and the Nasus, we all know what happened in that top lane. Ruin Kings really trying to kick him to the curb in this game. We talked about, you know, where the focus would be from Ruin Kings. I guess, yeah, that basically answered the question.
Dragon started up, though. Is Dragon going to be started up? No, it looked like Gosport Gods were starting up Dragon for a moment there. Luke Caruana is in the area. JJ Robinson trying to move down, but is going to get cut off by the mid-jungle duo. Scuttle Crab going over to, I don't know who. We're going to see a fight over Scuttle Crab as well as the Drake. Luke. The Living Artillery going to be poking away a little bit from Feb, and that is the Lethal Tempo activated. Gold card is readied for hands, but not going to be able to find a target. Gosport Gods, the priority is with them over this dragon. Health bars on Ruin Kings are a little bit lacking. Yuri Undertones now does have the teleport as well. No TP for MDib, so he won't be able to join this fight if it does kick off, but he would be able to cancel the teleport of the Nasus. Looks like Ruin Kings are going to give away this dragon, though. And just let Gosport Gods stack up their second. It's going to be an Infernal, quite a nice one to secure. Luke Caruana, oh, Blast Coning in, but he's not going to be able to find anything. Can they now take the fight at least? Demonic Ascension from God of War. Going to get himself stunned up. The Living Artillery and the Bio-Arcane Barrage going to finish him off from Feb. Juka jamming knocked up by the Depth Charge, and JJ Robinson is escaping on a sliver. Can Feb manage to snipe him down? No, because Hans is going to teleport in with the gold card and finish that one off. 3 for 0 in the fight. And yeah, Gosport Gods managed to get themselves the Drake. Luke Caruana with an aggressive blast cone, but it works out for them as the Showstopper comes down. The Fury of the Sands, I believe that's what the arm is called. Yeah, the Fury of the Sands really outputting a lot of damage when you are stood on top of your opponent.
Oh. Another play.
End of Luke Caruana going back into this Nasus. He does have waste that one as MDib picking up his third kill of the game. It's been absolute chaos so far.
Yeah, Gosport Gods, we're not given any room to breathe. They might have taken the dragon, but after that, like one split second of hesitation, they kind of think, wait, maybe we should take this fight, and Ruin Kings instantly get on top of them and win, just because, like, in situations like this, their comp is still better. And then, you know, after that, but Nasus thinks Nasus thinks he's safe. He's never safe this game.
No, definitely not. Especially into the just the raw amount of damage that Ruin Kings are able to put out.
Oh, that's a kill. Well, a bit of a misfire from Ruin Kings on that one. But still, it is a gold lead for the team. Although Gosport Gods are enjoying a 2-0 Dragon advantage, all things considered. So, looking pretty nice actually with the scaling comp that they have. They could just sit around at the next 1 or 2 Drakes and instead choose to get gold on the other side of the map if the situation arises. Opportunity, that is. Big trades on the top side. Fury Undertones versus MDib. Nasus is slowly getting stronger, although with the jungler attention on the other side, he obviously got slowed down quite a bit. Finally Dinks level 11. His Ruin Kings are potentially looking for the second Rift Herald. 3 members positioned in the topside river. The objective's already started. And Gosport Gods, I don't think they want to react to this play. I think it would be unwise to do so.
No. Yeah, they don't have the positioning, don't have the priority or the vision. And yeah, it's going to be easily picked up for Ruin Kings. Apologies about the little little bit of unresponsiveness there. Apparently, I'm having some internet issues, so I was just trying to see if I can find a quick fix.
I was stressed out because I thought, wait, is everyone cutting out again? Is this happening again? Slight panic, but yeah, glad we're back and still kicking.
I think it's fixed.
Okay.
I think it's fixed. Thank you to those in both Twitch chat and my Discord DMs who were letting me know. If it gets bad again, just let me know. I've closed the Twitch stream now because I think that might be what was causing it, but who knows? Back to focus on the game anyway. Still about a 3,000 gold lead. Slightly under, probably close to 2.5 actually. For the Ruin Kings. And that Kog'Maw with a Wit's End, nearly with a Runon's Hurricane as well. Going to be able to do a lot of work in these team fights.
So Gosport Gods still decide to contest, even though they do have a dragon advantage right now, and they could be technically just trying to get gold advantages on some kind of cross-map play, but they feel confident enough that they could maybe win this fight. But judging by how the last fights went for them, I don't know if I would be this confident personally.
Oh, Gardevoir's going to get engaged on here. The Demonic Ascension going to come through, but he's going to get knocked up. The depth charge finds 4 though, and it's huge. Feb is free-firing on the backline, and MDib in the middle of the fight. Yuri on is trying to find the Kog'Maw now, though, and is likely going to be successful. But on the backside, it is Ruin Kings that are winning the fight. Running up the Nasus. Yuri Undertone's going to fall. It's a double kill for Hands. Duke of Jamming the Soul Survivor versus 3. And this should be the first Ocean Drake over to the side of Ruin Kings, breaking that dragon stacking streak. And getting themselves on the board with one of the Drakes.
Yeah, that's very nice work from Ruin Kings. And like I said, Gosport Gods, I don't know if they want to be taking fights like this, at least not in a situation where Ruin Kings can get the jump on them. If they get the initial engage, things look much better for Ruin Kings, even though we saw what happened to the Kog'Maw. He was actually left completely alone in that fight, just Nasus wailing on him with the cane, but it didn't matter when the top side of this is this far ahead. The fight just completely swung in Ruin King's favor still.
But speaking of the Nasus being able to wail on the Kog'Maw now with his 2 damage items complete, we should now expect to see him go into some more tank stats, which will make him a little bit more durable if this Nasus does get on top of him.
Yeah, the Wits End of the Hurricane, the core is already there. We'll have to see what the third item is. Maybe some more MR considering the damage profile on the other side, but yeah. Ruin King's now pushing mid lane, trying to get this tower.
Oh, JJ Robinson gonna get stunned up by the Gold Card. Glacial Prison comes over the wall and completely go down in the mid lane as well for Ruin Kings. This is gonna be at least mid tier 2 tower, if not the inhibitor turret. Continued push gonna go on here, and Yuri Undertone's backing off, maybe trying to look for a teleport flank. Flash from hands, trying to find the gold card, but it's not going to really be able to catch onto anyone meaningful. With that Bioarcane Barrage, so much range, so much damage. Duke of Jamming, finding Captain Fast, taking turret aggro, never... But at the end of the play, it is a 1-for-1 with 2 turrets for Ruin Kings, and Hands now going to use that Destiny Gate, getting himself up to the top side. Fury of the Sands is going to be thrown down by Yuri Undertones, but he's left in a 1 versus 3. JJ Robinson going to try and teleport to pick up the scraps. Who it goes to. Twisted Fate going to roll high and secure himself an extra 300 gold. And we're now stuck in a 4v4 in the top side. Can Gosport Gods get a re-engage and potentially a few kills around the Baron?
They don't have the Sejuani ultimate for now, which is quite crucial, and they don't have the wave to push this for long enough either. But the set's coming in, though.
Tricky Jamming and Volstorm by the Facebreaker. Tricky Jamming going to find the kill. A decent chunk to the Volley Bear. That Leandri's Torment on Gardevoir really going to be putting in the work against these tankier targets.
Well,
we do see a QSS come out 3rd of Feb. Understandable into this team comp.
Yeah, that's potentially pretty good adaptation. Not only cleansing the roots from the Swain and the Sejuani Glacial Prison, but also completely gets rid of a Nasus Wither, which is one of the most powerful slows in the game, if not the most powerful. It's completely debilitating.
The most powerful.
But yeah, still, it's a point-and-click CC, so having QSS for that is very much useful.
Started up though by Ruin King. Luke Caruana and February the 14th going to be taking this one down. Kog'Maw, very quick Baron taker with that Bioarcane Barrage once you have some attack speed under your belt. Gospel Gods do now know that this is going on, however, and are potentially going to look for a contest. It's not dropping that quickly as JJ Robinson going to get caught.
Oh.
Taken down by the Kaiser and Captain Fast, quick to follow. The roll comes out from the Sejuani ultimate, and it's a 3rd for the Gods. Olympus picking that one up, and it's going to be the Baron taken as well. Ruin Kings looking for a Baron sneak that goes... That's a massive momentum swing for Gospel Gods.
Way too overconfident on the play. Ruin Kings thought they could just get away with the Baron regardless, but once they had been spotted, the play should have been just to basically retreat and try another time. Now the death timers are very convenient for Gosport Gods. Now they have the river positioning on this dragon as well, which could potentially bring them to Soul Point. This is just a complete turnaround for the team. Now Ruin King's trying to respond as quickly as possible. No steal.
I'm going to give vision on all of the Gospel Gods. Not going to be able to be stolen. That dragon just goes down way too fast. That is Drake number 3 and Soul Point for GSG, though, in this game 1.
Now we'll see what they'll be able to do with this Baron. But top lane tier 1 and the bot lane tier 1 still standing. I would like some of the team members to potentially divert their attention towards these lanes. Yuri Undertones is going to get matched by the set though, and I don't think Well, Nasus is definitely getting stronger, but I don't think he can just push out the set that easily. Still, it's going to take some more effort.
Can we have a stack check-in on the Nasus?
Let me see.
411 stacks currently on that Nasus, I think.
Yeah, it's
Unless I'm mistaken.
414. Yeah, it keeps going up.
Okay. So that Nasus is really going to be able to start putting the hurt down onto these structures if left unattended, and even going to start putting the hurt down onto this set.
Okay, not a lot of the Gosport gods are getting mid, but at least they got top.
Yeah, at least Yuri Undertone's able to pick something up. We see Hands now split pushing in the bot lane on this Twisted Fate. Glacial Prison going to go wide from Vilestorm, but it is going to be mid tier 2 picked up by GSG.
Now they're probably looking to converge with their top laner. No, the top laner is just going to recall. Maybe he's going to go to bot lane instead and pick up that wave and try to still take advantage of what little they have left on this Baron buff. Ruin Kings now can respond to this push. Yeah, not the most powerful Baron play.
No, but that is, I believe, what they call in the business an equalizing Baron. Brought the gold back to pretty much even, slight advantage for Gosport Gods. But they were falling quite far behind, so definitely not the end of the world, even to just be able to equalize the gold in this scenario.
Yeah, you would be very happy with just stealing, winning the fight, but they also got the Baron on top of that as well as the Dragon, so that basically puts them in a situation where they are looking potentially like the game winners in a future situation. Now Ruin Kings are put in a bit of pressure. They have to respond to whatever Gosport gods are going to do next. But Dragon is going to mean Dragon Soul if Gosport gods decide to take it, and we all know what that means. Ocean Soul is very, very powerful.
Yeah, definitely not the kind of soul you want to be contesting. Who benefit arguably more than most sometimes from the Ocean Soul. MDib though looking for Yuri Undertones, but Yuri Undertones doesn't care about the champion. He wants the turret, and he wants to bonk MDib in the face as well. That siphoning strike really starting to hurt with the Divine Sunderer. Feb left on his lonesome as well to defend this mid lane inhibitor tower. Could be potentially the base getting cracked, as we are going to see a pause come through.
Okay. Just a slight reprieve from the action. I think the game's going to resume shortly. But yeah, still, Gosport gods, what a way to come back into this one. Back
straight into the action.
Oh.
Destiny Gate comes through, baiting out the Glacial Prison. Has Vilestorm hit one so far this game?
Might have seen one or two that actually hit their targets.
I can no longer see the actual game. My replay has completely frozen. Oh, wait. Never mind.
Yeah, we're back.
Fixed. Calling down the Stormbringer. The Thunder crashing down as well. Facebreaker going to pull him back in, and it's 4 versus 1. Can the Nasus find anything? 5 versus 1 now as Feb joins the fray. Vision of Empires comes through from God of War. Yuri Undertones is still surviving. He takes so much time, but does eventually fall to the Nautilus. Captain Fast going to get himself on the board. First kill of the game for the Nautilus. But Gosport Gods getting pressure everywhere else before setting up for this Drake.
Yeah, the response is at least fast enough to get this bot lane inner tower. But the Dragon's coming up in 30 seconds. And you have Victor on the other side of the map. He does have teleport though. Oh, big face check.
Oh, Juka jamming, flashing away. Does the showstopper. But Killer Instinct into the backline, onto the set from Juka jamming, and he finds one. Captain Fast gonna be the next victim, falls to the Kai'Sa as well. but JJ Robinson caught out by the gold card. Luke Caruana and Feb not quite able to find the killing blows. Too much CC coming out of that Victor. God of War now at the target, but Feb going to drop to the Swain's damage. Luke Caruana going to fall as well. Gosport Gods take the soul, and all that is left for Hands is to pick up the pieces, clutching on to what little is left of that base.
The engage was chaotic, the engage was uncoordinated. Now that Gosport Gods have the items, they can just respond to the play and kill the front line quite fast, especially the Kaisa with the LDR, the Kraken Slayer, the Phantom Dancer. The free items is more than enough to melt both the Set and the Volibear. And yeah, it's not looking too hot for Ruin Kings anymore. Gosport Gods have successfully survived the early game with a little bit of help around that Baron, obviously, but still, fair credit to them. They took the fight at the right time, and now they are very close to winning this first game.
Yeah, definitely. And as Ruin Kings, this one's gonna hurt. Obviously, having the control for long periods of time before that mistake around Baron, and if you are looking at this game, you're, from a Ruin Kings point of view, you're looking at it as a case of what could have been. The momentum and lead all lost in one fell swoop, and Gosport Gods, 4,500 gold ahead, very finely poised to take game one.
Yeah, you have to wonder, like, this is a bit of a repeat from the last series that Ruin Kings played. They also enjoyed some early game leads, but then once the mid game and the late game hit, the haphazard engages started to come in, and then the gold lead just quickly falls apart, melts away, and then the other team is just able to come back into the game and just win out with a superior scaling. The top side and the lead that they managed to accrue over the first like 10 to 15 minutes was not enough. They still have the Cogmaw though. That is a big source of damage for their team, but he's not exactly on the level of Kaisa now. He's gonna need a lot more time to get to that point.
Blue team's turret
No.
has been destroyed.
Yeah, this Kaisa, very, very
Blue team's turret has been
strong. 4 items now, the Guardian Angel completed, and the Glacial Prison Connect. Hands in the start of the fight, Demonic.
Blue team's inhibitor has been destroyed.
Inhib falls top. Inhib going to quickly follow suit, as is the bot lane. Nasus doing his work and shoving in those structures. Triple inhibs fall for Ruin Kings, and Gospel God's going to play it safe, not going to look to push forward over aggressively, and just...
Yeah, they didn't kill enough team members
Just
to...
going to take a reset.
Yeah, didn't kill enough team members to finish this game off. It was just Twisted Fate falling after that fight ended. So it means the game is still on, but now that all 3 inhibs are down, Ruin Kings are stuck in their own base, and Gosport Gods have all of the initiative in the world.
Yeah, Ruin Kings almost looking for a miracle here to save the game.
I feel like it has to be someone, like, being quite egregiously out of position in order for Ruin Kings to actually have a chance to come back in here, because Victor and Kaisa just continue to stay at range and output the damage. I just don't see a way out.
When we could be seeing the final push right here. Gospel Gods, 4 men strong, walking into the base. Nasus not too far behind them. And what kind of defense can you mount, Ruin Kings? Can you keep your hopes in this game 1 alive? Captain Fast, depth charge going on. So Vast going to dissuade the Gospel Gods for a little bit. Now the minions are going to crash in there. for it soon. Glacial then straight away though. Vince is looking on the backline on JJ Robinson, but Feb falls to the Nasus. Yuri Undertones is going massive. Hands the only man left alive. It is 4 for 1. Make that 5. Yuri Undertones claiming a triple kill, claiming the Nexus, and Gospel Gods are going to take game 1 of this series.
Let's see.
Everything looks
Oh, not
pretty standard to me.
necessarily.
We see the ghost on the Darius rather than the teleport. The ghost instead of TP is the only thing that stands out to me.
30 seconds until minions
Yeah, in competitive settings, when Darius did get picked, you know, a fair number of times, it was the teleport still. Not, you know, not something you see in solo queue most of the time. Definitely Darius's. Yeah, Darius's. Prefer that ghost flash
Darius
combination.
is, yeah.
So the ghost flash definitely more aggressive, less team
Yeah, and it's going to be
oriented.
interesting to see if he can exploit the Wukong during the... Yeah.
We saw that Darius before in the Invul games, and Invul weren't always capable of making sure that Darius pulled ahead and stayed ahead. So I would really like some early attention towards that lane. Sejuani having a very good synergy with melee top laners helps even more in this situation.
Yeah, it's going to make that top lane jungle 2v2 particularly strong, having the stun stacking up with the Darius auto attacks as well as the Sejuani. But Hands really getting the better of this mid lane matchup in the level 1. A lot of poke going down onto JJ Robinson with that siphon power, and you would expect the pressure to be with the Victor in this mid lane, in the early levels at least.
Yeah, level 1 range versus
February
melee.
14th. Level 2 is going to be hit, and it looks like Ruin Kings have pretty definite bot lane priority as well as mid. Top lane is still to be contested, though, between the Darius and the Wukong. Looks like Yuri Undertones is slightly winning out in that top side, though.
Yeah, and that should continue for the time being. But now, a lot of it's going to come down to the wave manipulation. The next 2 or 3 waves, but Darius really needs to be able to set up for his jungler if possible, because Sejuani's approaching that top side right now, and the wave's not exactly the best of spots. It's somewhere down the middle.
Yeah, and both junglers clearing to opposite sides of the map, so we are not going to see any early Scuttle Crab fights. I wouldn't imagine. Hands, again, just laying down so much poke onto the Galio in the mid lane. But no, Vilestorm actually doubling back, looking for this bot lane Scuttle Crab. As his bot lane do begin to get priority, going to be spotted out over the wall. And Luke Caruana accepting the health disadvantage and just going to concede this bot side Scuttle. Going to instead make a beeline for the top lane, try and grab at least one of the crabs for himself, and should do so successfully.
The first clear can be quite unhealthy for the Echo, and this time Luke Caruana doesn't have the same early game power that the Volibear has. Nice keep from your Undertones, gets a lot of health back in that trade.
Yeah, notices the Echo on the ward as well, also able to position himself and maneuver in such a way that he can get out.
Whoa. Whoa.
I'm not going to lock anyone up, and the Echo Power Convergence is going to come down, finds one with the Time Winder, pulls back on the second and donates the kill over 2 hands, siphoning the power away from that Sejuani and the double buffs to boot. 2-0 start for the Ruin Kings in the mid lane.
This is just an absolute disaster for Gosport Gods, if I'm being honest. Like, the matchup already didn't look so hot, and then Jungler just completely forces the issue, and double buffs for Victor means so
Luke
much.
Caruana now looking for a repeat. Getting the slows from the red buff, Parallel Convergence comes down and finds the stun as well. And this is a very, very dead Darius. MDib and Luke Caruana coming out with a point to prove. Ruin Kings in general looking very, very strong in this game 2 to start things off. Third kill picked up. It looks like they're going to look for Dragon on the bot side here as a response, though, for Gosport Gods. But 2,000 already nearly the gold lead at 5 minutes in.
Yeah, with all of the gold that Ruin Kings managed to take in both mid and top, I think trading that for Dragon is a trade that they will accept 99% of the time. It's not really a big deal as long as they're able to contest for the Dragons afterwards. Yeah, sometimes you just trade gold for Dragons. This is just natural flow of a game sometimes. Not the end of the world for the team. They're still ahead, and now it's just about maintaining that lead.
With this lead, Ruin Kings can not make risky calls like they did with their leads in the previous game, and keep building it is what I want to see from them. I want to see measured. I still want to see aggression, but I want to see measured aggression, not just, yeah, we're going to do Baron at 21 minutes with 2 people. I want to see measured aggression. Yep, you're going up the first dragon, but that's fine. You have a 2,000 gold lead. And yeah, I want to see Luke Caruana being more active, especially as he gets towards this level 6. Being able to use that chrono shift with turret aggro could be very potent with potentially looking for dives. As we are going to see the Cyclone coming down onto Yuri Undertones. MDib trading very aggressively here. Second card. Estimate though, healing so much health, but the Nimbus cloak flash going to save his life. Hands finding a kill with Luke Caruana in the mid lane. The hero's entrance from JJ Robinson. Potentially going to be a hero's exit back to the spawn platform. But I don't know if they've quite got enough damage to finish the kill. The Death Ray comes across, but it's not quite enough. It's 2-0 on the Victor. 2,500 now the goal. Oh no, 3,000 so play for this game too.
Oh.
Last embrace, sorry, going to come down, phased up onto Duke of Jamming, and this is looking like one very dead Tristana. Feb picking that one up. Not going to be overly aggressive onto God of War as he is already out, but 6-0 on kills. 3,500 gold now, the deficit, and Gosport Gods just don't seem to be able to keep up.
And Luke Caruana setting up
JJ
every
Robinson,
single...
he is not enjoying it.
Yeah, every single lane set up by Luke Caruana, top, mid, and bottom. He's participated in almost all of those kills, and man, what an early game! What a change of pace for Ruin Kings. The early game going even better than last time, and yeah, just.
But this is that.
Yeah, the caveat.
This is that more measured aggression that we want to see. This is what we talked about. It is that more measured style that is still very fast and early game aggressive that we know from Ruin Kings and the style that they like to play, but it's just been dialed back ever so slightly that they're not reaching quite too far. They're not making plays like the attempted level 4 dive top lane like we saw in game 1. And yeah, it seems to be working out so much better for them.
Yeah. As it turns out...
Although, God of War able to get a lot of poke done on that Sarah.
As it turns out, if you just don't dive level 4 without any minions, your early game looks better. That is something that Ruin Kings realized quite quickly. And yeah, look at the gold lead now.
Who would have thought? MDib now looking forward again. Luke Caruana back in this top lane. Yuri Undertones pops the ghost. Does not have the flash to get himself away. Meanwhile, Shielded Durant popped in the mid lane from JJ Robinson. We cut back to top though, and it's Yuri Undertones who's going to fall to the crushing blow of MDib. 3-0 now on the Wukong. 7-0 now on kills. And the Zenith Blade even connecting onto Duke of Jamming. Buster Shot going to knock Captain Fast back under the turret. The explosive charge ticking away, but it's not going to be...
Nice.
Out one. The Xerath global presence able to secure that kill for Gospel Gods. They're on the board, Dabis. They've got one down.
Yeah, first kill for Gosport Gods. The scoreline resembling one particular football
Very
game
famous
that
football
one
match.
particular country would rather forget about.
Yes.
But yeah,
Definitely. I would definitely say that was fair, yes.
that tangent aside, the
Well-
fact that okay.
Looking for this second dragon, looking to get that stacking going. Also, I'm going to secure the dragon. Team fight, how is this one going to play out? Luke Caruana finds the first kill on to Yuri Undertones. JJ Robinson left in the pit. He's going to get cut down by the Wukong. And it's a 5v5. Gospel Gods again get the dragon, and they're stacking these Kings. 5,000 gold the lead here as we crest the 11-minute mark. And all Gospel Gods really have to hold on to now is this dragon stacking. If they can get these next two Mountain Drakes, maybe there's a chance, but right now it is looking dire for their hopes in this game.
We're stacking the dragons, but they keep losing the fights. And now, when the third dragon rolls around, Ruin Kings are gonna have items on top of items. And it feels like whatever kind of fight they take, it can even be a botched engage, it doesn't matter. Just beat them with their wallets and win anyway. This is Ruin Kings just so far dominating from start to finish, even though the dragon's not going their way.
Though might be caught by JJ Robinson. Rift Herald was summoned in the top side, so first turret has gone over to the Ruin Kings. Looking to get a potential second charge here on the top lane in a turret, but that's not going to be possible. JJ Robinson and Yuri Undertones able to bodyguard the turret, keep that Rift Herald away, but 6,500 gold at 12 minutes is the lead. Hands pressuring to try and get more turret plates, and potentially even another full 5-plate turret. It'll be interesting to see if he can manage that one before plates do drop off. This poke though is really looking quite irritating from the Xerath.
Yeah, I was about to say, with all this free time that the Wukong now has, with the tower going down, he will be looking to make some plays on the other side of the map. This is where Gosport Gods will have to be very careful. They see Wukong on the ward, so we should be okay. Leon goes in anyway.
Zenith Blade and Last Embrace going to find him. Cyclone comes down. Captain Fast actually falling to Duke of Jamming. Here's a entrance going to come down and a flash away from Duke of Jamming. JJ Robinson just going to drop in and keep his ADC alive. A 1-for-1 trade though, support for support. And you'd have to argue that trade only benefits Ruined Kings. Guard of War on the Xerath is quite a big damage source.
Yep, and that's another kill for the Wukong, who is now already 2,500 gold ahead of his opponent. When we saw the Darius versus the Wukong matchup, this is definitely what you do not want to see. This is not what Gosport Gods expected, this is not what they wanted. The Wukong being this strong is very bad news in the team fights. Very bad news.
Yeah, MDib going to be able to have a lot of agency and be able to get a lot of work done in these team fights. Divine Sunder are already completed, plated steel caps as well. And that Wukong is going to be a menace in the team fights. Feb, though, looking to keep this bot lane tower alive, poke away at JJ Robinson, maybe grab a few more souls for himself as well. Just gonna have a quick check-in on the amount of souls that Senna has. 22 stacks on the Mist passive as of right now. So stacking all right. Nothing special, but pretty impressive. With a time winder, gonna send him packing. And Ruin Kings just seem to be able to find these picks everywhere. Vince picking up another turret in the mid lane. So the gold lead is going to further extend. Rocket Jump takes Duke of Jamming out to safety, but no, out of the frying pan into the fire. The Chaos Storm and the Death Ray going to cut him down. Guard of War falls to Luke Caruana as well. Captain Fast doing a lot of work there. Parallel Convergence is thrown down and nearly actually manages to predict Vilestorm's movement. Gets the shield, not quite... And this game is very, very quickly leaving all chance of the Gospel Gods comeback. By the way, side, Ruined Kings look absolutely dominant in this game.
Everything's falling apart for Gosport Gods, and this is all pretty much owing to this new approach from Ruined Kings, which is exactly what we wanted to see. And you have to think that Ruined Kings, pound for pound, are the better team when you consider the players. So there's no real need to, you know.
Oh, right,
focus
the
so much
Arcane
on
gonna
the
come
early
through
game.
though. God of War find the steal. I don't know how many shots he has left, but he is gonna look for it. No, he doesn't quite find it, and Vilestorm engaging here onto Hands. Don't know if he's quite gonna be able to find it as Luke Caruana is looking on the backline. Gravity.
Oh!
Hands escaping on a sliver from Vilestorm, who will likely go down now as the sacrificial boar. Captain Fast and Luke Caruana not going to give him a chance to dash away. But the stun, wait, Vilestorm, no, okay, they're giving the kill over to Feb. Can he pick it up? The Blast Cone, gonna knock Vilestorm over the wall, and he is going to be able to survive for a little bit longer. Up the kill. And what we thought might be a close game has quickly ballooned into a 10,000 gold lead, nearly.
It very quickly turned into a Ruined Kings game. And
yeah,
this third dragon going their way means so much as well. Like, as if the gold lead wasn't devastating enough for Gosport Gods. Now, yeah, they're starting to stack up these dragons as well, and I feel like with this kind of gold lead, they could be even looking to start the Baron almost as soon as it comes up. You know, considering what happened last time, I'll have to be careful with that one, but...
Oh, the solar flare going to come down, though. Hero's entrance going to come through as Urianatones is dead before Galio can even hit the floor. Dawning Shadow comes across, keeping Emdib alive with the shield. Phase dive forward from Luke Caruana. He's looking onto Duke Jeremy. Hands from the backline, though. Finds one. Chaos Storm's down. Gravity Well going to stun 2 up, and oh, they're just roasting in the Chaos Storm. To go down, double kill for Hands, and I don't know what else there is to be said about this game. It is an absolute slaughterfest for the Ruined Kings.
Seeing a completely different team, and all signs are pointing towards a game 3. Everyone is playing better across the board. It's just a complete transformation for Ruined Kings, and if they play like this in game 3, which is surely only a matter of time at this point, then their chances are looking very good.
Yeah, I mean, Ruined Kings, we wanted to see a change in style, we wanted to see a change in pace, and they've really brought it. They have kept their foot firmly on the accelerator, and Gosport Gods have not been able to catch up during this game. 13,000, the gold lead almost irrelevant to talk about at this point. It's 13,000 gold at 18 minutes.
Yeah, it's the kind of goal lead that you rarely see.
Really ridiculous. Yeah, this is ridiculous for a game to be 19 minutes in with a 13,000 gold lead.
This is the kind of gold lead that you see at the end of the game when one side is dominant. Like, after, 30 minutes. We're yet to see a Baron spawn.
And Luke Caruana there, nearly able to blow up Gardevoir with simply the phase dive. But will Ruined Kings, it seems very silly to ask, but will Ruined Kings be hesitant to take that Baron after what happened in the first game?
Well, it did go just about as wrong as it could have gotten in the first game, but they still shouldn't be. Like, as soon as it comes up, try to set up for it if Gosport Gods decide to contest. As hopeless as that kind of maneuver may look, you know, you take that fight anyway and you win. You just win. you win pretty much any kind of exchange that happens between you and the other team. But there shouldn't be any kind of hesitation coming in from Ruin Kings.
Well, with a gold lead of this size, even if Ruin Kings do end up taking a bad fight, does it even matter? Vilestorm, that's not your jungle anymore, buddy. You thought that was your red buff, but no, it's a Ruin Kings red buff. MDiv going to go forward and claim that one. Yuri Undertones, the next victim, but no, saved by the hero's entrance. Gonna look to go back forwards. They are catching a lot of damage as Luke Caruana and Captain Fast, but the Dawning Shadow and the Chrono Shift going to keep Luke Caruana alive. Right at the Arcane, not going to quite have enough to finish it, and Duke of Jamming jumping on to Captain Fast. Jumps forward again with the reset, and is going to No! Luke Captain Fast on a sliver as well. How many times is this going to happen? God of War not able to find him with the Arcano Pulse either. And meanwhile, Hans and Feb just destroying the base. Vilestorm going to try and defend, but can you actually stand up to this Victor? He has 2 completed items, and you only have a Sunfire Aegis.
This is what this kind of gargantuan gold lead allows you to do. Like, you're in a fight with 3 members. Gosport Gods has more members.
This is calculated.
Like, Gosport Gods is taking that fight and trying to kill you, but they just can't. You're still getting the kills, and while all that is happening, you're also taking
surgical precision.
You're taking 2 inhibitors.
But you have to start thinking. Like, at this point, if you are one of the Gospel Gods players, you're already thinking about what do we do next game.
I hope they're thinking about next game. I hope they're not trying to, you know, shift the blame onto.
Surely, right? Like you have to be. You have to be thinking about what do we do.
Hope they're not bickering. Hope they're not arguing. Hope they just forget about this one as quickly as possible once this game ends, because it won't do them any favors. Yep.
Thankfully for them, though, they were able to take that game 1 because they can afford. We knew they could afford to take a loss, but taking a loss in this fashion really not going to do much good for your team morale. And I wonder how Gospel Gods are going to try and bounce back from this. We see the right of the Arcane coming down. I'm not quite sure what God of War's trying to get done there. But when we do see a pause.
Yeah, probably just a brief pause, just like last time. Yeah, there we go.
But yeah, I'm running out of words to describe just the sheer dominance from Ruined Kings this game. It's going to be a 23-minute to find a steal, but MDiv is going to look to put a stop to that. Arctic Assault going to knock him back, but we do see no, not a replay, not the replay bug. My screen froze for a second, and I thought the game was over, but no, it's just MDiv finding Vilestorm. Hans is looking to be collapsed on here by 2. Gravity Well going to stun up Yuri Undertones though, and Hans with the phase rush walking himself away. Gardevoir just going to get picked off. Dawning Shadow fires across both members, and Hans is going forward for the 1v3. Duke of Jamming now joining the party. JJ Robinson and Yuri Undertones not got the health bars to support their AD carry. And Duke of Jamming really in danger of falling here. Baron going to be Gods going 1v3. Trying to push the minions forwards, using that Baron buff. And it's Dabis, it's 17k at 24 minutes. Why is it 17k? Look at the damage, that's on a Darius.
The numbers don't lie.
24 minutes.
The numbers don't lie. Yeah, it's kind of gold
What's going on?
This kind of gold lead allows you to play on 3 fronts. It allows you to take Baron buff, push top lane, and push bot lane at the same time, and also just kill people
and
while you're at
play
it.
On 5.
It's basically like
we do see the chaos form coming down. Yuri Undertone's going to get chipped away. Luke Caruana finding Gardevoir, not going to be able to finish off a kill. Those Vilestorm gets stunned up, and he's just going to fall. We see off screen JJ Robinson gets picked up by Hans as well in a solo kill. And look at the Victor damage. He's just killing them on their fountain. There's nothing they can do.
Yeah. That's a rough one.
1,000 gold, the difference is the Nexus falls. Sorry, 16, 17k. But what a performance.
And
Here we go. It is time for the decider, Dabis. The final game of the season for one of these two teams. Ruined Kings versus Gosport Gods. Are we going to see an interesting level 1, or is it going to be a standard 5-point defense?
Welcome to Summoner's
I'm
Rift.
probably expecting more of the same from both teams, so just not a lot of interaction between the two. Scattering some vision.
30 seconds until
People
minions
just
spawn.
defending the usual spots. All I'm really hoping for from this game is Gosport Gods coming into it with clear heads.
Yeah, I agree.
If they're still shaken from what happened in game 2, then you might as well write this one off as well.
And I think leading on from that as well, whichever team does go down in this game, at least I hope they go down swinging and make this a close one. Give us some action, make things interesting. But yeah, it's going to be a standard 5-point. Junglers looking like they're going to be starting on opposite sides of the map from each other, so both going to be clearing red buff towards their blues. So we shouldn't see an early contest over the Scuttle Crab.
Yeah, and that is definitely something that Zach wants to avoid.
Already JJ Robinson losing half of his HP to that Lucian in the mid lane. Hans really not taking any prisoners in this final game. Dishing out a fair chunk in return, though.
Yeah, the Corrupting Potion is definitely the right choice here. You want to... Lucian is going to trade against you. He's going to take those trades whenever he can, so it's important to give back as much damage as you can whenever the trade actually happens.
On the early level
tower shot.
Lucian tower shot. So actually, JJ Robinson coming out the victor in that trade, the victor, unintended, I guess, does have the level up to come through as well, so that'll be a little bit extra healing. MDib and Yuri Undertone's going to be trading back and forth in this top side as well. The Volibear, though, with that additional magic damage, going to win out on these early trades, you would imagine.
Yeah, level 2 Volibear, even level 1, very scary to deal with, even for someone like Set, who also has potentially very good level 1, level 2 trading. You have to be careful. Meanwhile, Hans healed up a bit, used his potion actually, so now he's left with no potions in the mid lane, but still pressuring.
Yep, Yuri Undertones, though, trading aggressively, got that shield down from the Storm as well, and he is having a very, very good time in this early lane versus the Set.
Yeah, I don't think this is anything out of the ordinary for the Volibear. We all know how powerful he can be in the early stages of the game. Also, mostly just stalemate in the bot lane.
JJ Robinson actually doing a really good job in this mid lane, just to keep at arm's reach of Hans. Yeah, he's sacrificing a little bit of CS, but he does have the HP advantage.
Yeah, and keeping that HP advantage is key. Seeing some of that health, seeing some of those minions is fine, because Lucian, all he really wants to do, or all he's really designed for as a mid lane champion, is securing lane leads. And then, you know, past that point, maybe he can transition into a late game carry. You know, he's a marksman after all, but like in the lane, you can...
Oh, the first hook gonna go wide. Captain Fast caught by the deadly flourish. Charm comes down. It's Juka jamming and guarded while fourth shot's charged up. The dancing grenade goes through. Juka jamming flash. First blood finds the kill onto Captain Fast, and I believe that is also the latest first blood of the series so far. Luke Caruana gonna go in on guard while forces the heal out of Juka jamming. Luke Caruana now getting chunked out dangerously low, charmed up, but is gonna be able to walk away. And yeah, I believe at 4 minutes and like 7 seconds, that's the latest first blood of this series.
Alright. Ahri support already showing up. The first blood that's, you know, that she's involved in as well. The charm landing clean. onto the Fresh here, and yeah, looking good for Gardevoir. Maybe I was underestimating this pick. Let's see.
And yeah, looking good for Gosport Gods. They have CS leads pretty much everywhere other than in that mid lane. And it's amounting to a 700 gold lead to start this game out in the early game. Shaking off the trauma, really, from that previous game.
Yeah, it's definitely night and day. Securing that first blood is already a step forward when you consider that, you know, Ruined Kings had 7 unanswered kills in the second game.
Yeah.
Yeah, just more about this matchup as we see heavy trading now.
Good trading from MDib, though. Not really taking much in return. Really starting to take a chunk out of Yuri Undertones.
This Jin and Ari pairing, it really feels like Vicenna is quite threatened by the potential combination whenever he chooses to try and harass. Like whenever you walk beside the minion line, whenever you're positioned next to it, then you run the risk of getting charmed and getting rooted as well by the Jin. Then that is the trade that Gosport Gods will win every time.
Gonna be dashing forward. Chaos Storm gonna come down though. The culling and the Ardent Blaze, the Ignite Flash, Hands just gonna find the straight up solo kill. JJ Robinson, you do not have the required stats to survive, even with that Seeker's Arm Guard. And Hands answering back in the mid lane, trying to take this game into his own hands. To go further with the Ari pick as well, the Foxfires, I believe, prioritize target champions. So we'll always, never mind, we have a fight in the bot lane. Lansing going to get Feb out to safety, was charmed up in the middle of 3, but he should be able to get himself out to safety. Showstopper going to take Yuri Undertones back through. Stormbringer out. Damage going to go wide. Can Yuri Undertones find the kill? Does he have the damage? Going to look for the dive, stun, and the chomp. And that is a solo bolo in the top lane. Dragon now being contested. It's Gardevoir finds Captain Fast. Root going to miss from Juka jamming. Hands onto Vilestorm. Are we going to see a teleport onto one of the Zac blobs? We are. Juka jamming falls, but Gardevoir answers back onto Captain Fast. The Zac is still alive. Yuri Undertones joins the fight as Vilestorm falls. Luke Caruana gets out with the smite and barely a sliver of HP, ticking up with the potions. But that is going to be the Dragon stopped and a 1-for-2 fight in the favor of Ruined Kings.
Yeah, not necessarily. Bit of a risky play for Gosport Gods to attempt the Dragon that early, but yeah, they don't lose that much at least, but it's obviously you had to use that teleport just to save, well, just to save your jungle. Didn't he fall anyway?
He didn't even save the jungler. Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he
so
did the teleport.
At least no one takes the dragon, so the game continues, but I don't think this is what Gosport Gods should have done. I think this is just giving some more gold to their name, and this is only making their situations a little bit worse.
I mean, it's so far we've seen it's been a very volatile early game, but we've seen volatile early games in all 3 of these games now. More trading in the top side, but MDib, you're not going to enjoy that one too much. He's got a Barmy Cinder. You've got to walk at him to hit him. So you're just going to be ticking away, and JJ Robinson really starting to feel the hurt now from Hands. The Gravity Well going to stun him up with the Chaos Storm ticking. And the Culling's going to get eaten by the minions. So it's actually a relatively even trade, but Hands going to gain full wave control with that Culling. And now we see Gosport Gods back on the Drake. Hands actually looking for a reset. No, cancels his back. Oh, but the Moonfall is huge onto 2. Gardevoir and Duke of Jamming getting caught out. Luke Caruana diving deep. Not going to quite find Gardevoir, but Duke of Jamming does drop. Dawning Shadow comes through, doesn't quite pick up Gardevoir. Vilestorm about to fall, and the teleport from JJ Robinson going to be too little too late. Not going to be able to get any more action here. Luke Caruana dangerously low, but does have the Pale Cascade shield to sustain himself through the dragon.
This play was... This just wasn't it. Gosport Gods... No. Just before you started with Dragon, you see how your mid laner... You see how low your mid laner is. You know that he uses ultimate. You know that he can't possibly walk up to the play before Lucian does.
Yeah.
And you still continue to go for this one single Drake.
Yeah.
And you give Ruined Kings the opportunity to take the fight. They do so, and they win. Because their team is just better at these early skirmishes.
Just let
And
the Drake go.
this is just basically playing by Ruined King's rules right now.
And we see Vilestorm complete his support quest finally at 10 minutes. Luke Caruana obviously having already secured that one with the challenging smite. But even after all of these early skirmishes, Ruined Kings finding themselves with a 1,000 gold lead. So the game definitely not over here for Gosport Gods, although Luke Caruana finding and engage, the Culling coming down as well. JJ Robinson trying to fire damage over with that Death Ray. Gets a successful disengage over the wall. Yuri Undertones and Vilestorm just going to back off and return to their respective minions to clear. But we see Luke Caruana, I believe, starting up the Rift Herald. Maybe? I think. My screen's focused on the blue buff, so... Yeah, so it is going to be a Rift Herald. Started up Yuri Undertones and JJ Robinson and Vilestorm looking to all contest. They're collapsing on him as a 3. Should be a very easy kill here, and it is going to be picked. Rift Herald taken as well by Vilestorm. So a nice collapse from Gospel Gods, actually, to find themselves a little bit of a way back. God of War dashing forward with that Spirit Rush. Charms flashed away from. Excellent reactions from Hands there to get himself out of harm's way of the charm.
Yeah, this is one kind of play that Gosport Gods definitely needed to keep themselves in this fight, but it's also Luke Caruana starting the Rift Herald while his mid laner is just standing there in mid. And there doesn't seem to be a lot of communication between the two. The jungler just falls for nothing. And that this definitely puts a bit of a wrench in their plans, but yeah, still in the lead in terms of gold.
Well, we are seeing more trading into the top side. Yuri Undertone's winning out massively, though. The Showstopper comes through and Luke Caruana joins the fray. Vilestorm is in the area as the Stormbringer comes down. Luke Caruana kind of isolated on his own. Dawning Shadow comes across for the shielding. And the Thunder being called. Yuri Undertone's.
Volibear, though.
Oh, tanky on this Volibear, but isn't going to fall. Just ended.
Oh
just
my
about
god.
Turn it around. Are they going to find the 2v2 win? Looks like they're going to. The Zac passive is popped. The blob's going to fall. JJ Robinson now, a new challenger approaches, stuns up Luke Caruana. Siphon Power not really registering too much damage, and Diana going to be able to dash herself out. No dice for JJ Robinson, not going to be able to get anything done on the top side. And a big pair of kills going over to MDib.
Yep, MDib making full use of that Pit Grid passive. That is about as close as is going to get.
All the while, Hands
Man.
in that mid, just wailing on that turret.
Uh-oh.
God of War, Alcove Gaming.
Out of vision.
Alcove Gaming. Has the Spirit Rush, goes over the charm, goes wide. The root doesn't connect. The Last Caress going to catch on from Feb. It's a Flash Flay, and Gardevoir is going to fall. Captain Fast falls to the 4th shot. But, oh, Gardevoir, what could have been if that charm connects? It looks beautiful.
At least one kill in return, but still, Senna's probably doing just fine in this lane.
Oh, and Feb looking to go aggressive here. Has the Glacial Augment. Piercing Darkness comes through and a decent little chunk out of Duka jamming. First turret falls in the mid lane, though, for Ruined Kings against the Rift Herald. So not even having to pick up Rift Herald to secure themselves that one. Kind of just shows the pressure that Illusion has in that mid lane.
Yeah, a lot of the plays that Ruined Kings got are mostly off of that mid priority that Hands was able to generate. This is a pretty big point in this particular game. The Victor having a lot of issues just trying to keep this guy at bay.
This is why we see the Lucian so frequently banned against Ruined Kings, because of what Hands can do on the champion.
Yeah, it goes through once, and then we are quickly reminded why it stays banned.
And why it should forever remain banned for the rest of Ruined King's journey during playoffs. Should they progress past this game?
Yeah, obviously, we're not taking it away from Gosport Gods just yet. It's a lot closer than it was in Game 2.
Oh, Charm goes back in. Beautiful catches onto only Ari. Duke of Jamming flashing away. Gale forcing away as well. God of War keeps himself alive. Crescent Strike going to find a little bit more damage, but not going to be any kind of lethal threat. And the Rift Herald just going to get taken out before it can get its charge off. Really unfortunate for Gosport Gods. Yuri Undertones, though, going to get a lot of work done on this top lane turret. Potentially going to be able to take it down. Does have the TP, so could join any potential fight. JJ Robinson, though, going to get engaged on Flash, Gale Force, Culling. JJ Robinson falls. Hands is feeling himself in this game 3. He is on a roll, and JJ Robinson is the one having to pay the price.
Yeah, that gravity field was put down way too early, and once Lucian sees that, he just dashes into you, presses Gale Force as well.
Oh, and the Let's Bounce coming out. Like the Root, the Charm, the Thresh is locked up. And it's going to be donated over to Duke of Jamming once he can get himself into range for this final auto attack. No, he's going to run past it. Dancing Grenade and the Deadly Flourish to pick up the kill. Always got to do it artistically with the Jhin. 4th shot onto Feb as well. Not going to be able to threaten his health bar. But, yeah, a nice little play in the bot lane. Going to get something back, at least, for Gospel Gods.
Yeah, like we mentioned, bot lane continues to be one of the bright points for Gosport Gods, and this Ahri support pick is still looking pretty strong, despite Gardevoir missing some of those important charms, still managing to secure some ganks for the jungler. So, pretty nice.
Yeah, Yuri Undertones finally claiming a turret in the top side, gonna close the gold lead back up to just shy of 2,000. Duke of Jamming and Gardevoir going aggressive onto Hands, but Hands just executes the Ahri, and Luke Caruana's there to turn around on the Jhin. And that's just a bit of an overstep there from Gosport Gods, you have to say.
Yeah, it definitely is. That was a very odd fight to take. Ahri goes in with less than half health. When that happens,
HP.
like, there's the chances to win are very low to begin with, but then that happens. I don't know.
JJ Robinson to get away with the gravity field, but this Lucian is outputting incredible amounts of damage.
I don't know if JJ Robinson knows about like the ult versus ult interaction that happens in this matchup, because he keeps using Chaos Storm very early, and then Hands can just use his ultimate without, you know, the fear of it potentially getting cancelled.
Caruana getting jumped by Yuri Undertone's gonna look to take the blast going out safety. Moonfall comes down and the Lantern is blocked away. Dawning Shadow comes through and the Lantern gets Caruana out. Not sure the Dawning Shadow was really needed there though from Feb, but better safe than sorry, I guess. Just means that cooldown will not be available for the next minute and a half or so, maybe a little bit longer. But yeah, I don't think we're going to be seeing too much action until the next Drake. Is currently 3,500 gold in the favor of Ruined Kings. So Gosport Gods may be wanting to just catch as much gold as they can before that dragon to have as best of a chance at contesting as they can.
Yeah, going into this third dragon here, Gosport Gods, I don't think they can take any kind of, like, fair fight in a 5v5 scenario still. They have to look for some kind of pick beforehand, or just try to make a cross map, even though it's going to mean soul point.
Luke Caruana might be caught out here, charmed up, rooted up, but yeah, that's the power of the Jhin and Ahri. The root and into the charm. So much lockdown, and that is the jungler dead. Charm goes wide, but Captain Fast is blast coning himself into the middle of 3. Deadly Flourish not going to find the root, and the Last Embrace going to go wide as well. We could see a potential fight here, though. The Spirit Rush not available for Gardevoir, but Flash Charm could potentially come out. Death Ray going to clear out this bot lane wave, and 47 seconds before the dragon spawn. You would have to think that Gosport Gods have a little bit of control with Luke Caruana being off the map. Has just respawned now, though.
Yeah, Gosport Gods could look to secure some vision around the objective now. But, yeah, they're taking their time. And it doesn't look like... I mean, it does look like they still want to contest, but they're not really aggressively making their presence known. Ruin Kings still have the vision in this brush right here. Okay, now they're going to clear it.
Captain Fast taking a late recall, though. He will be at the dragon just about on time, but it is going to mean that Ruin Kings are going to have to concede some of that river control. Or maybe they won't, because Gospel Gods just won't push far enough forward for it.
And now the standoff begins. Gardevoir looking for some kind of angle to surprise Ruin Kings with. Trying to evade vision.
And speaking of angles to surprise Ruin Kings with, we talked about the Zac in the draft. A lot of different methods of accessibility that a Zac will have around an area like this with that elastic slingshot. And we do see the dragon started up now. Last Embrace catches onto JJ Robinson, but the root not really going to mean a lot. Slingshot
Where's
charge
Vince
up. Going in, and it's a Dragon Steel from Yuri Undertow. And trying to flank around the back, getting onto Juka jamming. The culling coming down, but not doing too much damage. Captain Fast falls to Yuri Undertow in the middle of the fight. The volley bet going to fall. Zac passive is popped as well, and Gardevoir trying to do what he can. Spirit Rush going to take him away and keep him alive for a couple more seconds, but it shouldn't be enough. No, the Crescent Strike doesn't quite find the kill, and it is 3 for 1. No, 2 for 1 in the favor of Ruin Kings so far, but Gosport Gods get the Drake.
Well, Hans was trying to flank in that situation, which obviously created a better scenario for Gosport Gods to try and engage. Obviously, Ruin Kings still win, but they don't get the dragon. It's a bit of a bittersweet victory. And yeah, Gosport Gods are still in this, although the window is slowly closing.
Yep, the fat lady is beginning to warm up her vocal cords. But they've still got time. You don't know who she's singing for yet. And yeah, it's still possible for GSG. But the way this game is going, the lead has slowly been extending further and further in the favor of Ruin Kings. A large portion of this lead going to be in the jungle. If you look at the gap in CS between Vilestorm and Luke Caruana, really just showing the control that this Diana has on the map.
Yeah, that's where the big advantage is. Yeah, Zac would really want to have that Rando and Zoman as the second item. That would be very useful for him in this situation.
Yeah, especially into the double AD carries.
Victor's still looking to complete his second item, which is looking like Kazanya's Hourglass. He's probably just going to finish it.
You would imagine so.
Meanwhile, Lucian is probably going to hit his IE soon.
Yuri Undertones, no, he's just going to be allowed to walk away. Never mind. Does have the fully completed Essential Oils. Hands potentially going to be caught out, stunned up by the Everfrost.
Man.
And the culling now going to come through. JJ Robinson tanking that all up, and Hands turns around, finding one in the 1v3. Drops, and that is going to be Baron started up for Ruin Kings. It's not going to be a risky Baron like the previous. They have evidence of 3 people on the bot side. It is a 4v4 on the map. Yuri Undertone's the only man in the area. Gardevoir going to be joining him. Can
you
they
say
fight?
that, but...
Or fight. Charm connects onto Luke Caruana, and Yuri Undertone's of awesome. Baron secured by Luke Caruana, and the fight now ensues. The Moonfall going to be huge, picking up Vilestorm and Yuri Undertone's. Not before answering back, and this fight is so chaotic. 3 for 2 so far. Beb and Mdiv chasing down Duke of Jamming, the last remaining member for Gosport Gods. Glacial Augment going to be slowing him down. The 4th shot for a little bit of extra movement speed dodges out on that last embrace. The teleport in from JJ Robinson, and could Gosport Gods potentially look to turn this around? The curtain is called, but Duke of Jamming has no vision. He just clears the wave.
Yeah, that was... I think that was very close to being potentially disastrous for Ruin Kings.
Yeah, it was. That Baron went down to 57 HP before Luke Caruana was able to secure it.
Gosport Gods was almost able to have everyone respond to that play. The Baron was almost stolen. They almost lost the fight. It's a game of almosts here. And Ruin Kings continue to be on the winning side of the encounter every single time. much to the dismay of the other team.
But you can think about those almosts, and if there wasn't this 5,500 to 6,000 gold difference, would those almosts be falling in the favor of Gospel Gods? We see JJ Robinson being jumped on and blown up by hands. Yuri Undertone's not going to look to even try and fight the Lucian. That Victor just eviscerated off the map.
Yep. That's the Hans Lucian right there. Press F to pay respects.
Yep, in the old chat, JJ Robinson knows this is a Lucian he probably hasn't faced before. And yeah, as we mentioned, Hans really hammering hard home why you have to ban this champion against Ruin Kings.
Yeah, in a game like this, he's the X factor. He's pulling so much pressure, created a mid priority in the early game, which led to some advantageous situations for Ruin Kings. Then he draws so much pressure, which allows Ruin Kings to take the Baron. He gets so many of these solo kills. He's basically who the game revolves around right now.
Not going to be able to find it. Let's bounce on a flash to get himself away, and it's Dragon number 3 for Ruin Kings. Next one will mean Infernal Soul. And with how much damage this Lucian is already doing, giving him an Infernal Soul on top of that is a terrifying prospect.
Yep. 2 very scary AD carries that you have to deal with. With Infernal Soul on top of that, yeah, the chances of winning would be approaching 0 very quickly. Not that they are high right now, you know. It's already looking grim, but yeah, with that Infernal Soul on the horizon, Gosport Gods must feel pressure to respond to this next Drake.
Yeah, that Dragon in 5 minutes' time could be where we see the final fight of the game, the final fight of the series, and the final fight for one of these teams at continuing their playoff hopes.
Yeah, once again, we're probably just hammering home this fact. Like, Gosport Gods should not look for a typical team fight.
No.
Still, with these items, they will not win. They have to look for picks. Thankfully, they have some of the champions on their team are well designed to fulfill that kind of strategy, go for that kind of playstyle. But it requires good vision control, requires you to be in the right spot as well to capitalize.
And if we do look at this next Drake as being the potential final fight for this game, as Duke of Jamming going to look to go aggressive on MDiv. A lot of damage onto that set, actually. Not much armor for MDiv. Charm goes wide. It feels like I'm a bit of a broken record repeating that phrase over and over again, but MDiv going to fall in trade for top lane in a tower. With this Dragon coming up, would it be a good idea to look for the steal and then the fight, or would you want to see Gospel Gods try and take the fight before the Dragon spawns?
Huh. Well, with the Zac, I think it's easier to try and attempt to steal, because you pretty much will always have access to the Dragon Pit no matter where you're positioned.
Yep.
So I think just trying to steal would be the primary objective, but even then, taking the fight, like imagine if Zac doesn't. I mean, it's not hard to imagine, but
no,
Zac doesn't get a dragon, then you're facing a team with Infernal Soul, and you definitely lose. So
yeah, I mean, it's a really difficult one for any team to approach.
So,
and
yeah.
I'm
In
sure
that
Gosport
case,
struggling to formulate the best strategy.
in that case, Gosport Gods should probably just try and fight before it happens. Like it's the same reason you try and fight before Elder.
Yeah,
Not
because
after
if you don't lose the Elder,
the team gets Elder. It's pretty much a similar concept here.
yeah, that's very, very true. Although we could see a fight around this Baron here, as it is about to spawn. Vision is being contested by both teams. MDib showing in the bot lane, though, looking to pressure the turret. And Yuri Undertone's going to teleport back using the Summoner TP rather than the Recall. So doesn't have that spell available now if MDib was to teleport up to this topside fight. And MDib winning out on this 1v1. Yuri Undertones, though, pops the Stormbringer. Showstopper goes down, but is dodged away from by the Volley Bear. And the fight's going to continue chasing each other out. In the 4v4, Poke going onto Luke Caruana with the dive forward. The Moonfall going to connect. Dawning Shadow coming across as well. And Hands looking into the backline. Almost assassinates Duke of Jamming straight away. Zonya's going to keep JJ Robinson alive, but Gardevoir, Duke of Jamming falls. JJ Robinson not too far behind. Vilestorm going to go down as well. It's just Yuri Undertones, the sole survivor, the substitute to try and defend 1 versus 5. The waves, though, for Ruin Kings, not in the best of positions. No wave here in this mid lane. A bit of a wave in the bot side, but it is going to require a bit of a push to get it under that tower. Could potentially be the end here for Ruin Kings. 15 seconds on the shortest death timer remaining for Gosport Gods. Can Yuri Undertones do any form of wave clear? Inhib is going to fall, and it looks like Ruin Kings are going to push for the end here. 3 seconds on Gardevoir, 5 seconds on Duke of Jamming. Gosport Gods are going to be able to try and defend this. Gardevoir is now up. Charm goes wide, but so does the Thresh Hook. Duke of Jamming now dashing forward with the Gale Force, but it's not going to be enough. The turrets have fallen. The Nexus is going to be next. Ruin Kings advance to next round of Losers Bracket playoffs. Gosport Gods, we do have to unfortunately say goodbye.